Jill Marie Landis, author of 27 best-selling novels, and most recently published is My Taiwan On. And Jill, please tell us what has made you interested in being an author?
Well, I started out as a reader, of course. I read since I was 5 years old. 5 years old, and I would go to the library and check out stacks of books. And I think you sort of internalize stories and storytelling. And the most important thing for an author, excuse me, is to be a really good storyteller. So that's what I do now, and I've always wanted to write and let the characters get out of my head.
And so have you always had an interest in writing, and you've been developing this as you go along?
I think the very first thing I wrote was a play when I was like in the 3rd grade or 4th grade, and my little friends and I acted it out. And then when I was in junior high, I wrote a romance about a surfer.
Oh.
And people were passing that around, and it never got back to me, so it must have been a good one. And then things just took off. Life gets in the way, and I didn't really start writing till after I was out of college and I was teaching school.
How old were you when you wrote this novel, or sorry, this play?
Oh, the play? Probably 3rd or 4th grade. I don't remember how old
that's
that
so
is.
early.
Yeah.
That's great. What would you say has been the most enjoyable part of your writing career?
Selling my first book, probably. I wrote one book and I got 16 rejections on it, but they were all.
Oh my gosh!
They were all really good rejections.
But you're doing great now, and you've moved past that and
Moved
keep a
past
positive
that.
attitude.
Yep, and you have to just keep going. My second attempt sold.
Being persistent is
That's
probably
right.
the way to go.
Keep showing up every day, and probably the best part about being a writer is I can work in my pajamas, or I can work anywhere I want to at the beach.
Anytime you want to.
Anytime I want to.
What's your inspiration for writing, and do you ever get writer's block? They say that every artist or writer does get some kind of block of inspiration, but maybe that's not true for you.
I think there are times when it's easier to write than other times. Like today's such a beautiful day, I'd rather be at the beach, but I do have a deadline looming, so I have to sit down and do the work. Writer's block is something we talk about, and it's kind of hard to describe to people who don't have a day job writing, which I do. You can't not write because that's how we, make our living if you're a working writer. So I think you have to adjust where you are in the book, or maybe you're telling the wrong person's point of view, wrong character, or you're in the wrong scene, or maybe you should start a whole nother project, but because it's not working for some reason. It's not you and you have a block. It's that the book or whatever you're working on needs to be seen from another direction.
Well, how do you suggest that somebody who's, pursuing a similar career to yours and is writing a book, how should they avoid writer's block? Just stick with it?
Sit down every day and do something. There are many days when I sit and a scene's just not coming, so I write, he looked at her, she looked at him, they walked around, they sat back down, they went outside, and you're just writing garbage, but eventually something will come out of it. And I always say it's easier to fix something bad on a page than to look at a blank page and have nothing there. So just the act of writing itself gets you going. It gets me going.
Well, as far as writing the book My Taiwan On, what were your greatest challenges and rewards for writing the book?
The greatest challenge with that was that publishers in New York don't really like to gravitate towards books set in Hawaii. And even though there's The Descendants, Hawaii 5-0, the book that was written for The Descendants was set in Hawaii, it's still, they think, a hard sell. They don't think that too many people can relate to Hawaii from the rest of America. I don't get it. So I finally found a publisher who was really excited about the book, and it's doing really well.
Your artistic goals,
and they wanted to take a chance with it. Yeah.
And why would you think that in general, just in your personal opinion, why Hawaii perhaps isn't the best topic? I mean, everybody loves Hawaii. As far as I know, most people dream, not most people, but a lot of people dream of going there for at least retirement when they're older. Why would you think that would be?
I think because we're so disconnected from the mainland and we're so far away, and some people still see this as a very foreign place. The words are
almost like a foreign country.
Yeah, almost a little bit like that. And it might be too overwhelming for some people to even think about coming there on vacation, where other people, dream of coming.
More about My Taiwan On. I really like the book.
Thank you.
Fun. I really got involved in it and memorized the characters and would think at the end of the day, like, what's this character going to do?
Oh, thanks.
And
Yeah.
that type of thing. And there's a rumor that, well, I don't know if it's like a rumor exactly, but I've heard from other people that wrote the book that it's about Tahiti Nui. But I know that in the book they said it's set in Hyena, at a restaurant.
Well, what I did was, it is fiction. And of course, as far as I know, nobody's found a dead body in a luau pit around here lately.
Right.
Which is how the book opens. And
There's some artistic license.
yeah, and for the people that don't know, the Tahiti Nui is a restaurant and a bar here in Honolulu. And I wanted something with that atmosphere to be the setting or the locale of where these crazy bunch of hula dancers hang out.
Right.
But I wanted it on the beach too because of the readers, far away. They assume that, things are on the beach and there's just ocean view everywhere. So I moved it in my head and in the book to be out in Hyena, sort of where the Mediterranean Grill, which is another great restaurant and place here on the North Shore, is, so that I have kind of like mixed the two worlds together because it is fiction.
Right.
And the characters are composites of, characters that hang around the North Shore.
And the characters are great, by the way. I'm trying to connect the characters with people that I've met specifically at Tahiti Nui, just because of what I've heard. And then the main characters, the hula maidens. I think we should talk about that for a second because they're just hilarious.
Well, the hula maidens are a funny group of hula dancers who are, I think there's only one that's actually Hawaiian, but they're all Hawaiian at heart. And they're from sort of like 30 years old. Well, one of the youngest characters is 20 and she helps them. And they go on up to the 95-year-old. Yeah, there's a 95-year-old hula dancer. Well, she's an ex-Rockette, and she can't dance anymore.
I believe that's the one in the
she's on a little
gadabout.
A gadabout, which is a little automatic
she has
scooter.
a little bit of a drinking problem.
Yeah, yeah. They all have sort of fun drinking tropical drinks with umbrellas in them, and which leads to a lot of crazy situations with the hula maidens.
A little bit of drama here.
I've had people say, "I want to be a hula maiden too." And then I just spoke at I spoke at a book club the other night, and they said it's really fun that you have characters of all ages because there's so many baby boomers now, and
I totally agree.
they want to read about
audience.
All ages, not just young, beautiful romance heroines. So
we're on to our last question. Do you have any plans to write any new books in the future?
Well, actually, I'm working on. I have a contract for 2 more books in the Tiki Goddess Mystery Series.
That must be exciting.
It is, and I'm working on the second book. My Taiwan On was the first.
Okay.
The second one's called Two to Mango.
Okay.
And I hope to keep the, the notes, a number somewhere in the title so people realize in the series which book it is, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever. And it's set again with the same crazy hula maidens. And
great! So they're back.
More murders and mayhem and mystery and chaos, and it's a lot of fun. And it's almost finished. So.
How long do you think it'll be until it's published?
Oh, it's supposed to be out in June.
Oh my goodness.
So
okay.
they're working on the cover and I'm working on finishing it up. So, Two to Mango, and it'll probably be on sale at Robin Savage Gifts, where My Taiwan On's for sale.
Okay, My Taiwan On is currently for sale at Robin Savage Gifts and Gourmet in Honolulu, and there are autographed copies of this book, and then Two to Mango also will have autographed copies there.
I hope so.
Okay, and then in June is when we're
it'll
looking forward
be
to
out
see
sometime
the
in June.
sequel.
And
Okay.
it's also available online.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank
and
you.
It's been great speaking with you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned next time with the Kauai Voice. We're going to have a fresh new video for you coming up real soon. My name is Alohi Connie. Mahalo nui loa.